Very precious prayer meeting at my church tonight. They always are, because no prayer meeting is the same. You look to the Lord, He guides your prayers, and you just sense His presence in such a beautiful way, and He does wonderful things. So tonight, my pastor read a story in Luke 5, where Peter has been fishing and catches no fish, and he's been fishing all night, and Jesus tells him to put the boat out a little bit further and to let his nets down. And Peter says, well, I've been fishing all night and have not caught anything, but at your word I will put the nets down. And he puts the nets down, and so many fish come into the net. I think it says the nets began to break and the boat was filled with fish. It was miraculous. And Peter repents and he says, Lord, go away from me. I'm a sinful man. And Jesus says, do not be afraid. From now on, you will be catching men, fishing for men. And it's just such a beautiful, beautiful story. And the Lord just made something so real to my heart as my pastor was talking about it, where, everything about it was just so applicable. Peter was disappointed, and he had fished all night. He expressed that. He caught nothing. And here's Jesus telling him to let down the nets again. And because he's human, he tells him again, that he had fished all night and caught nothing. But when he said to him, but at your word, there's something about that. It just struck my heart immediately. He was not only obedient, he knew that what Jesus told him to do, he should do. And it was like the Lord just really spoke, inside my heart, saying that at his word, but at your word, what God says in his word, what he tells us in our spirits to do, no matter how empty the attempts have been before, no matter how dead something looks, no matter how impossible it seems, when God tells us to do something, it's at his word that we must do it. And the blessings that we will reap are just, they can't even be numbered, or said. He does exceedingly abundantly all beyond all that we ask or imagine, but he's looking for us to do what he says. He didn't explain to Peter, when you send down that net, you're going to catch all these fish. He just tells him to do it. And Peter senses his humanity, but then he says, but at your word, I will do it. Let's be intentional and committed to move at God's word, not our own, not what it looks like. How can we see the miracles if we don't do what he says? Even as my pastor shared tonight, how can there be a miracle if there's not a need for one? How can the Lord heal someone if they aren't sick? How can he raise the dead if they aren't dead? So disappointment God really uses to teach us his ways, and we'll be so blessed as we follow him. I just wanted to share that. I hope it blesses somebody, because I just left there feeling like, God, more than ever before, I'm going to do what you say no matter how it looks, which was something that the Lord was even putting in my heart before then, to really forget what I look like to others and to do and say what he says. He's got a unique plan for each of us, callings that nobody else has to understand, and we really don't either, until he shows us his glory. Have a good night.